John chapter 13. John chapter 13, verse 14 and 15. John chapter 13, verse 14 and 15. I read verse 14. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. I read again. Verse 14. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. And let me read verse 15. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done. Today's topic I titled, Be an Example to Others. Be an example to others. I repeat, be an example to others. Jesus, in verse 14, said, If truly I am your Lord and Master, as you have said, and I do this by washing your feet, then you ought to do to one another. There are a lot of us that what you are doing to others, you don't want them to do it to you. Reason be that you are not doing the right thing and you never want anyone to do the same to you. You have done evil and you know that you have done evil, or you know you are doing evil to some people or to others, but you will never allow them to do the same unto you. But Jesus here categorically said, if you truly have called me Lord and Master, and I, regardless of that, washed your feet, you now must do the same to others. So Jesus was actually making the disciple to understand here that all I have done, your feet that I actually washed, intentionally washed, shows that you yourself can do the same to others. If truly you have called me Lord and Master, and I am washing your feet, you should also do the same. You should also do the same. Look at what the verse 16 says. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than the Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. So Jesus was making them to understand that you have called me Lord and Master, but that does not mean I am greater than you. So you should also do the same. You must not be too proud. The leadership that you are in control must not intoxicate you, must not poison you, must not make you mad, must not make you to miscontrol. You should be able to control yourself. You can see that today, so many of our people are being miscontrolled. So many of our people are being miscontrolled. Don't forget our topic that says, be an example to others. Be an example to others. Most of our leaders today in different categories they are functioning can never be an example to others. they only command, but they can actually not do what they are commanding their subordinates or those that they are in control of. They only love to command, you come and do this, you go and do that, you come and do this, you go and do that, but they cannot even practice what they are asking the servant to do, or they are commanding the servant. Why? Because of pride. Why? Because of ego. Why? Because of superior than thou. Jesus have actually played a spirit of humility here, has actually played the role of a leader here. Leadership is not only in commanding. I'll still come up with that another day. Leadership is not only in commanding, but leadership is also in showing examples, showing love, doing the same thing you are asking others to do. Some people will say, do as I do as I say, don't do as I do. Is it possible? Do as I say, you see, which means go and do that. They love you that way, that you go and do. But what they are actually practicing, they never want anyone to do it because they are actually practicing what is against what they are saying. What they are commanding some other people, they cannot do it. They are doing the contrary. So because of that, they now say, do what I say, don't do as I do. It shouldn't be, but it should rather be pari passu. Do what I say and do as I do. That is when you know a leader. You know a leader when the leader say anything to people so that they can do it. And the leader also do something and now ask them to do or to look at what he's doing so that they will also practice it. Hmm. The spirit of ego. The spirit of ego can never take you to anywhere. It will rather land you to pit because at the end of the day, you will end up your life in a bad way. You that people are hailing, you that people are praising, you that others are obeying, will now turn to person that they will abuse, even not only as in his absence, but also in the presence of that person. Hey, look at you. Look at you. See yourself. You are not even ashamed. They abuse you even to the extent that in your presence they are saying it. They never mind whether you are there. If servants or those whom you are controlling could say that in your presence, then it means you are gone. You are finished completely. You cannot do what you are practicing, what you are telling others, but you rather tell them not to do what you are doing, and you called yourself a leader. You can see Jesus here. He did what is actually requesting the disciples to do back to one another. That is a leader. That is a good leader. A good leader, as I say, must not only function in the area of commanding, sending, making people to do a particular thing. Whereas what you are commanding, what you are forcing people to do, what you are leading people to do, you cannot do it. But you are doing on the contrary. And you never want them to do that thing that you are doing. But you can only command. I pity you. I said, I pity you. Verse 15. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. What I have done to you, do the same. You can see what Jesus is saying and what he has done. Because Jesus have done something good, with boldness, he is now commanding, he is now advising, he is not making the people to understand that I did not do that thing for doing sake, but I have done it. It is a practice that I want you to be doing to others. Never you think because of you being a leader, you will not do what you are commanding others to do. You will rather do the contrary. You will rather do the opposite of what you are commanding them. Why? Because you think you are a leader. Why? Because you think you are the one in post. You are the one in authority. So you can authoritatively command people. You say anything you like so that they do. Whereas you cannot do all that you are commanding, all that you are using authority to say, to force them to do, you cannot do it. Be an example to others. Be an example to others. Don't be an example in a negative way, but be an example to others in the positive way. There are some things that people are doing which is terribly bad. They never knew that their followers are looking, and they will also do the same because those that the leader is leading never understand. So they only think they have right also to do what they are seeing the master doing. An example of this is parents versus children, or father versus children, or mother versus children. Many of us who are parents, you are doing some things that when your children see you doing it, they never understand. And at the end of the day, they started practicing it. They begin to practice what they have seen you doing. They didn't understand it, but they only go on doing it. An example of this is when you on a TV or you are watching a drama, lo and behold, the children too are watching it, and where they are practicing sex, they didn't understand. When you are watching it, you never knew that these children are seeing evil. They end up doing it when you are not there among themselves. They are children. They are children rather, and they don't know what they are doing. They just go on practicing it. Why? Because they have seen you two watching it, and they are watching what you are also watching. But instead of you to send them away, you didn't. Similar thing also, maybe they see some people beating some other people on in the play you are watching. They will also be doing the same. All these they are doing it without any knowledge. Or maybe you are a father that usually curse or you abuse, or you are a mother that usually abuse or curse. You end up seeing your children doing the same. So what example as parent are you giving your children? What example? How are you leading your children? There are things you should say. There are things you must not say when you are with your children. But some parent does not even know the opposite or the negative of this. They know nothing about this. They believe anything they can say. They are children. They still don't understand, and they understood. It is you that did not even understand. Because if you understand, you will not do what you are doing in their presence. So, what I'm actually saying today is that be an example to others. You must be an example of good things to as parent to your children, and not example of bad things as parent to your children. And as leaders in other areas, in other sectors, make sure what you are doing, or your fellows can also do it, your subordinate can do it. Make sure what you are doing, others can do it, and make sure what you are commanding people, you yourself can do it. Because as a leader, leading mature people, just believe that they have their own understanding, they have their knowledge, and they have their wisdom. They only obey you as a leader. And at the end of the day, when you are not doing part of what you are commanding them, they end up saying it among themselves. They end up not even obeying you because they see you that you are only a leader that command, but you are not a leader that do what you are even commanding them. So today, I want you to understand that it is good for you to be an example to others, to be an example of good things to others, not an example of bad things. If you have been leading any area or in any category and you are not an example of good things to others, go and change your mind today. Change your character today. Change the way you rule. Change the way you lead. It is not always by commanding, but it is also doing what you are commanding others to do so that you will lead long, so that they will continue to obey you. So, my advice for you today, or the word I am leaving for you today, is that be an example to others. Be an example to others. An example of good things, not bad things. An example of good things in the area of you commanding them, and you as also part of that thing that you are commanding. Then it shows that you are a good leader. May God help you so that you will lead well, so that you will give a good examples to others. In Jesus' name, amen.